Hi there, I've got a tremendous opportunity to share with you. Now, if you're a missionary or a visionary, someone who's seen that bigger picture and is now on that mission to make it happen, you've got a cause, so to speak, a passion in your sails, and you're off there moving forward, not necessarily entirely always sure where it is that you're heading to, but certainly driven by a purpose and a passion that feels as if it's greater than you, then I know that this is going to benefit you. Now, if you're a sherpa or somebody who's there to support these profitable pioneers as they head out into uncharted terrain, then what I'm about to share is going to also benefit you in supporting such people on this tremendous mission that they take on board for themselves. So the 8th of March is International Women's Day. And in celebration of International Women's Day, I've decided that I'm basically going to give my services away for free. Apart from they're not completely free, there is a charge of $29.99 to attend this event. It's going to be a 4-hour live broadcasted event. There's a charge of $29.99 to attend, which is actually 1/100th of what my normal consulting fee would be. But I hope that it means that you commit blood into the game as such. I'm a strong believer of the more you put into something, the more you actually get out of it. And so to a certain extent, I'd be doing you a disservice if I was to give this away completely to you for free, because I'm a bit scared that you might undervalue the information that I'm actually going to share. Now, what you will learn throughout this process is not just going to support the business growth, your accelerated exponential success, but it's also going to support your personal life too, and here's why. You see, our brain, this power that exists in our head, well, it's capable of quadrillions of operations per second, and really we're not using nearly enough of it. In fact, scientists, neuroscientists, when they're studying the brain, they compare it to studying the universe. That's how little they actually understand. Now, Stephen Hawking described the universe as having its boundaries, but being constantly expanding. And when we think about those in terms of our mind, well, we know our knowledge and skill, our experience has its limitations. But it's actually in the fringes of those limitations, it's by broadening those boundaries that we really acquire the greatest growth. It's through the fringes of our comfort zone that we're able to overcome those inherent challenges and fears, so as to push past into seeing something which previously we'd perhaps not been able to perceive. So our imagination is potentially infinite. The more of it we start to explore, the more of it we understand and use, the more we're able to kind of channel these ideas through into our realistic everyday life, so as to support our greater progress. Now, actually, what's happening at the moment is the internet is very much the same as our imagination. You know, it's got its boundaries, but it's constantly expanding, and it's expanding at such a tremendous rate that actually we're in danger of suffering from overwhelm. Gone are the days when you can just simply go to the one leading expert in the industry to get that fragment of knowledge that you require. Now you're bombarded by hundreds of industry experts, people all there convinced that they can offer you the answers to your problems with their latest blog post or article or video or whatever it might be. And how do you see through all of this? How do you not get kind of overwhelmed by the whole situation, bogged down in it, so to speak, so that you literally can no longer see the wood from the trees? And finding that path forward, well, it becomes a near impossibility. It's as if the brambles have kind of grown over it and you're wrapped up in the middle, kind of unable to see the light at the end of your tunnel. And actually what happens then, that's when the fear really starts to kick in. That's when that sense of overwhelm actually petrifies us, quite literally freezing us still, stopping us from taking the necessary action that we need in order to really make progress. And believe it or not, procrastination, indecision, not taking that committed action, well, that actually costs you more than recovering from the wrong decision. So unless you're taking action and moving forward, then you're not building that momentum that generates that magnetic attraction that sees your success soar at this exponential rate. We've seen in recent years how companies such as Google and Facebook and Innocent Drinks and the likes, who lead with a very innovation-based culture, how their success has soared on that high growth exponential curve. And that's because they've had a strong, unique selling point and a clear vision. They're on a mission and it's gathering momentum. They're pulling other people with it. And here's the gift that I would really like to give you. You see, having that vision, having that mission, having that clear sense of a way forward will see your success soar. But it's having that ability to maintain that vision in your mind. So often we get in our own way, our mindset holds us back, and we can actually thank our ancient Greek relations for that, because they taught us this framework of weighing up the pros versus the cons, and actually that's so black and white, it's so two-dimensional, and reaching a compromise in the middle is so rarely satisfactory to everybody that personally, from my point of view, it'll no longer do. It's time we really started engaging more of this holistic brain, seeing the bigger picture and learning how to collaborate and communicate with each other in a much more creative and constructive way. So that's exactly what we're going to do on International Women's Day. I'm going to share with you a secret strategy that has served me most of my life. In fact, I'd say it's been responsible for me winning some incredible innovation awards, including the title of British Consumer Inventor of the Year, European Female Designer of the Year, the Minds Award awarded to me by the Malaysian Innovation and Design Society for my very, very simple solar cooking device. But all of these simple solutions, my brain doesn't think any differently to yours. Unless, of course, you're telling yourself that you can't think this way. And then, of course, you're never going to be able to think this way, because that's half the problem. It all boils back to mindset and how you frame your mind. If you're looking at life in this two-dimensional pros versus cons, left brain, right brain way of thinking, then you're not engaging the holistic brain. And actually, it's when you use both sides of it together that the sparks of genius really start to emerge. It's when you step round your situation so as to see it from a number of different points of view that you can really build up a bigger picture. And it's having gained that greater insight that the simple solutions do literally come to the surface. So we're going to run through this system, this high growth strategy, this mechanism for achieving that which you actually truly desire, as opposed to that which you might think you want right in the moment, when the priorities are getting on top of you, when you can no longer see the wood from the trees. It's very easy to become confused and to set yourself off on a course of action that takes you so far away from where you really wanted to go when you first started that you kind of lose track of where it was you were going. That's what happens, especially in climates such as these, where fear surrounds us every time we switch the news on, where we're constantly being fed bad news about the economy, the environment, what's happening around the world. And actually we've got to find it within ourselves to connect in this creative, constructive, collaborative manner so as to overcome the problems we face, so as to really make that progress together. So we're going to be running through some brainstorming exercises. They're going to be collaborative brainstorming exercises. Being the fact that it's a live event, you're going to be tapping into the collective consciousness of the group. So we are after like-minded people, people whose values and core beliefs set out to innovate in a way that benefits the rest of the world too. The contribution to society that improves the way we're living at the moment, as opposed to removing from that. So if you are one of those people who's got a brilliant idea that solves a particular problem, or if you're on a strong mission to support the growth of others, or if indeed you're one of those pioneers that's blazingly going out to discover land that we've perhaps not charted before now, ideas and opportunities that were previously unthought of, well then it's important that you make sure you've got some like-minded people here to support you. And that's what we're going to create in this event together. I'm going to be sharing a wealth of information about business growth, including some high growth strategies and lots of information from my book From Brainwave to Business, which was recently shortlisted for the Chartered Management Institute of the Year Awards. So this system that I'm going to share with you does serve a purpose. Having been working as a consultant with other people, I've had managing directors pretty much falling off their chairs. They've been able to believe that in 15 minutes of using this way of working, they've actually solved a problem that their research and development team has been engaged in for 2.5 years. Or another guy who turned round to me and literally said he reckoned that his 15-minute session had been worth $750,000 worth of extra income because of an idea that he'd previously overlooked. And it's not just the big corporate CEOs that are benefiting, the small startups too. When you're in that situation of What do I do next? Do I really risk where I'm at right now to pursue a dream, or am I best turning round and doing something different? These kind of questions, they're difficult to answer, and especially when you're looking at life in this pros and cons, black and white way, when it's so much more multi-dynamical and colourful than that. So I've had people reporting that it's helped them to see the easy way forward, that it's shown them why what they're doing right now can actually support where they want to go to in the future, and how they can actually prioritise their actions based on what's really important to them and not just what they believe to be important at the time. So by the end of this 4-hour event, you're going to leave with a map, a clear blueprint, if you will, giving you a complete overview of your situation and a specific, actionable, easy step plan that shows you the shortcuts, that avoids the perils and pitfalls, that allows you to get to where you really want to go. And this will be personalised, tailored to you. We are going to have lots of breakout question and answer sessions, so you will have an opportunity to really voice your own concerns, so that together, and using the power that will be within the extended group, we can look at resolving these the easy, efficient way that allows you to push past them so that you can achieve the success you know you deserve. Listen, this is going to be tremendously rewarding for anyone that takes part in it. I'm absolutely convinced of that. There is no deliberate guarantee being offered here, but if at any point you're not satisfied that this information is of value that is worth 100 times what you've paid for it to your business over the future, over the course of the year, the next 12 months, the next 2 years ahead, well then just let me know and I will give you your money back. No questions asked. I have no problem with that. I know that this is going to be of service to you in more ways than one, not just in your professional life, but in your personal life too, in your communication, in your ability to see where other people are coming from, in your collaboration skills, in your conflict resolution skills, in all sorts of walks of life. So do join us for what is an unprecedented event that's not necessarily going to happen again in the same way. This is me sharing my skills and knowledge with you in celebration of International Women's Day. So whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're a large corporate organisation or you're somebody who's just got a seedling of an idea, if you've got that passion in your belly, if you want to see your mission take off with great momentum, if you've got that pioneer's visionary abilities, or if you're a supporting sherpa, offering these people that extra oomph to really carry them towards where they want to go, then the strategies that you will be learning and the advanced thinking techniques that you'll be putting into practice throughout our time together will serve you from now for the rest of your life. So do sign up, and I will very much look forward to welcoming you on the other side. Thanks very much for listening.